Hi guys, my name is Francis, and today I'll be talking about the two pandemic that put the global health into crisis. I'll be talking about the influenza pandemic, known as the Spanish flu of the 1918, and then the COVID-19, of course, which is also known as the coronavirus pandemic. So these two pandemics have similarities and differences. Of course, among the similarities, we talk about the global spread. Both pandemics quickly spread worldwide, covering all the areas and in every country. At least most people got affected, and we had a lot of death registered. Then the mortality rate was high. For example, the 1918 influenza pandemic resulted in over 50 million people dying. COVID-19, of course, also led to millions of people dying. It affected the healthcare system, and the other diseases were not catered for. Many people died from other illnesses because the focus was put on these pandemics. It is disrupted, both the pandemics disrupted the economy and we see like 1918 the flu affected the workforce productivity and led to the economic slowdowns. The COVID-19 resulted into a widespread lockdowns. Businesses were shut down, schools were shut down, students were sent home, and everything turned into online. The just difference is that with the corona epidemic, it came during the rise of technology, where most of activities shifted to online, whereas the other one of the 1918, everything was still traditional and it affected many people. So the differences, we see that the 1918 influenza was caused by the H1N1 influenza virus, whereas the COVID-19 was caused by the SARS CoV-2 coronavirus. So we had two viruses that caused these pandemics. And then when we talk about the demographic, the 1918 influenza pandemic, of course, affected young adults from 20 to 40, and which is unusual with the COVID-19. With COVID-19, it is we see many people of older age, 50 years and above, were much affected, but the other one was affecting young people. Then medical knowledge and technology. With the 1918 pandemic, we had limited technology. There were no vaccine. There were no treatments. There were no the experiments and researches were low. But when we come to COVID-19, we see the technology was a bit high. We see a lot of vaccines coming up and a lot of technology that supported the economy. So it was a better compared to the other one. So the other thing is the communication and the information dissemination during the influenza pandemic of 1918. It was hard to convey the messages because the era of digital communication was not there. But right now, during the COVID-19 pandemic, we had a better chance of communication. A lot of tools, a lot of platforms, social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they all used to communicate. The website, different website, government website were used, and all other technologies were used to communicate to the communities on how they can cope up with this pandemic. The government also responded in different way, like during the area pandemic. It was hard for the government to respond because the institutions were shut down and the government officials could not go to work. But when you look at this one, the government institutions continue to work. They're working from home with the use of technology, so responding to various sectors and various people, helping people was easier with the current pandemic of COVID-19. So when you look at these two, of course, they all influenced and all challenged the U.S. economy and other part of the world, but the way they happened are a bit different in terms of of course, in terms of the changes and the growth in technology. Otherwise, the pandemic, whenever it comes, it leaves a lot of challenges, it leaves a lot of problems, death, and no one can admire to have it. So, guys, thank you, guys. Let's all be agent for advocating and trying to see how we can end any epidemic in the future.